Is he right? I mean, you have to be consistent. You can't say that the 10 horns of the dragon beast represent one thing, and to say the 2 horns on this land beast represent something totally different. The 2 horns on the head of the lamb beast, or this beast that has characteristics like a lamb, represent 2 kingdoms. Now, there's a biblical parallel that is very, very close to this symbol that we have in Revelation 13, verse 11. Go with me to Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8. And I want to read verse 3, and then we'll jump down to verse 20. Daniel chapter 8, verse 3. Then I lifted my eyes and saw, and there standing beside the river was a ram. How many animals? 1. A ram. Which had, okay, so you have one beast with what? 2 horns. And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. Now, what do those 2 horns represent on this one beast? This one ram with 2 horns. What does the ram and what do the 2 horns represent? Verse 20. The ram which you saw, having the 2 horns, they are the kings of Media and Persia. Let me ask you, was this one nation? Yes, it was one nation. One beast is used to represent it. A bear and a ram. One nation, but this one nation was composed of how many kingdoms? This one nation was composed of 2 kingdoms. In other words, this beast of Revelation 13 represents one nation, but that one nation has 2 what? Has 2 kingdoms, or dual kingdoms within it. Now, we're going to come back to this. You'll understand what we're talking about. We're setting the basis now. But let me ask, why are these 2 horns like horns of a lamb? You know, there are many beasts in Scripture that have horns in prophecy. But this is the only time when the horns are specifically identified. What kind of horns? You know, for example, the dragon beast that says it has 10 horns. It doesn't say what kind of 10 horns they are. There's just 10 horns. But with this beast, it specifies. It says that it has 2 horns like a what? Like a lamb. That must be important. Now, the question is, what does the lamb represent? The word lamb is used in the book of Revelation 29 times. In 28 of those references, it indisputably refers to Jesus Christ. And so somehow this beast, the only time where you might have an exception is here in this text, Revelation 13, verse 11. It must mean that somehow this one nation, on its head, it will have 2 horns, which represent 2 kingdoms, and those kingdoms are the ones that were recognized by whom? They were recognized by Jesus Christ, because the Lamb represents whom? The Lamb represents Jesus. So the 2 horns like a lamb is